Okay, today you're going to work on quiz corrections and have a work day. So, you guys are really struggling with theoretical versus experimental probability. So let's do a couple examples here again. I have a spinner here in the middle with lots of colors. When we are talking about theoretical probability, we just think of all the possible possibilities. So when we're looking at this spinner, we see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections. How many of them are yellow? Well, there is one yellow segment out of that spinner. All right? Now, experimental probability, on the other hand, is when we actually do the experiment, so that means we look at the results. So looking over here, I spun the spinner a bunch of times, and I recorded the information now down here in this chart. How many times did I actually get yellow? Well, I got yellow 6 times. So my probability is 6 out of however many times I did the experiment. Now, I didn't give you any directions on that, so what I'm going to have to do is actually figure it out myself. So looking at my chart, I see that I have 15 orange and 15 blue, so that means I have 30 so far. I got pink and green 6 and 9 times, and 6 plus 9 is 15. And looking over here, 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 3 more is another 15. So 5 plus 5 is 10. I carry the 1. 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 6. So it looks like I actually spun the spinner 60 times. So that means I got yellow 6 out of 60 times. So now I can simplify this to 1 out of 10, or 10%. Now over on the other side, 1 out of 7 then, I'm going to take 1 on my calculator and divide by 7, and I get 0.142. Now the 2 is not big enough to push it, so my decimal is 14 hundredths, or 14%. So notice that my probabilities are different. I just thought about what I could get for yellow, and there's only 1 out of the 7 spots on the spinner. So this is theoretical. I'm thinking about it. Whereas over here, it was 6 out of 60 because I actually did the experiment, and I looked at the results here in the chart. The yellow was spun 6 times out of the 60. So 6 divided by 60 is 10%. So let's look over here. Sorry about that. How many times on here can I get blue? I can get blue 1 time, and I can get red 1 time. So that means 2 out of 7 is my theoretical probability. And 2 divided by 7 is 0.285, which I would round to 29, or 29%. Now, if I go over here, I'm finding out that I want red. How many times did I get red? I got it 6 times. And the blue, I got 15 times. So, 15 plus the 6. Remember, or means all together. That means I got red or blue 21 out of the 60 times that I did the experiment. So now I'll take 21 and divide by 60. And I get 0.35, or 35%. Alrighty, so now, what was my chances of not getting green? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors that are not color green out of 7. So 6 divided by 7 then is 0.857, which rounds to 0.86, or 86% of the time. Now I'm going to go over and do my experimental. I'll look at my actual results. How many of these colors were not green? So if I'm looking at that, orange is not green, so that's 15. Pink is not green. blue is not green, purple, red, yellow. So it looks like all the colors except for the green. So if I got 9 green out of 60, that leaves 51 out of 60 that were not green. So 51 divided by 60 is 0.85 or 85%. So again, the denominator on this side was always out of 7 because there were 7 possible outcomes if I had spun the spinner. I was just thinking about it, so that's my theoretical probability. Over here, my denominator had to be 60 because I actually did the experiment and I was using the results that I got from the table. So there was 6 out of 60. What you need to do now is use this information to help you make corrections to your Lesson 2 quiz. You're going to get them back from the sub here in just a couple minutes, and you're going to make corrections to them and then turn it back in before the end of the hour. After you make your test corrections, you are going to work on this worksheet, which is E50, which is your homework, along with your iExcel CC3 in 7th grade. That will be your homework for tonight. So here they're talking to us. It says, do each exercise and find your answer at the bottom of the page. Write the letter of the exercise in the box above the answer. At this time, pause the video and hand out a worksheet to each student. Continue the video when everybody has a paper to do examples on. Okay, so let's take a look. If I roll a regular 6-face die, that's the die over here, how many equally likely outcomes are there? There are 6, because there are 6 equal sides on that die. I'm going to let you do the next one, so I'm going to go down here at the bottom. Letter A goes in the box above the 6 then. Let's do letter H. If I roll the die 60 times, how many times could I expect to get a 1? Well, I know that there's 1 1 on a dice, so 1 out of 6 times 60. And then I can complete that math. That would be 1/6 times 60 over 1, which equals 60 over 6. And 60 divided by 6 is 10. So I would expect to get the 1 10 times. So down here at the bottom, I find the 10, and I put the H above it. All right. Now take a look at this next spinner for this next set. The spinner, as shown at the right, for each outcome is not equally likely. We can see that section A is a lot bigger. Okay? Think about it here. What if I had drawn this box this way? What letter would be here on the top? Well, I could get an A. And at the bottom, this section would be A as well. Use that information to help you answer the first couple of questions. Now, let's go ahead and do Y again. If I spun this spinner 80 times, how many times would I get a C? Well, technically, even though I only see 3 sections, there's technically 4 sections on this spinner. So I can get a C 1 out of the 4 sections of 80. So that means I'm taking 1/4 times 80 over 1, and I get 80 divided by 4, which equals 20. So above the 20, I'm going to put the letter Y. Looking at the bottom half of the page, find the probability of each choosing a marble out randomly. So let's try this one here. What is the probability of not white? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are not white out of the 10 total marbles. So 9/10 can't be simplified. So down here at the bottom, 9/10 we'll get letter E. Now at the bottom, They're not going to give you a picture to help you, but you need to think through it. Remember, here on the deck of cards, you have a picture of it in your packet. Here, you might need to look at a calendar for the month of April and find out how many days are in April. Here, you're talking about flipping a coin, and here we're talking about the vowels in an alphabet. All right? So, today, you are going to, number 1, fix your lesson 2 test corrections. Fix the questions you got wrong on the quiz. You can use your probability packet for help. You are to redo the problems on the back of the quiz or on a separate sheet of paper, and be sure to staple it to the quiz. Then turn the quiz back into the black trays before you leave class. I don't want it to go home. If you finish your quiz corrections, then you're working on your Pizzazz puzzle E50 that I just demonstrated to you. And make sure you have all 3 IXLs done, EE2, EE3, and in 7th grade, CC3. So this is your homework for tomorrow. It's due. Do work on your quiz corrections first.